Alright, hello everyone, Benevolent History here, and I'm here to give you, I'm here to continue my campaign commentary for the Scipii Romans. Now, the problem with this was, while I was recording, the footage, my, microphone had problems, so I basically recorded this whole footage, thinking that my microphone was fine, and when I found out that my microphone was dead, it was too late. Essentially, I already got the footage up. So right now, I'm voicing it over after voicing this footage after I played it. Essentially, so I'm just watching it now. So there was a huge Armenian army back there, and I had to deal with it. So I was gonna send that army in the Armenian city out to the east when I had enough time. And I'm looking at how many stacks. It looks like Pontus has like four stacks right now of troops, which is really annoying. I mean, yes, the Pontic troops are probably very crappy, but I still don't want to deal with 4 stacks. It's mind-boggling. No, it's very annoying. Anyway, I think I'm gonna send that army up to attack Captain Kotis. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and deal with this army. So I have like about 2,500 men, and against about 2,000 men of Pontus. My men are all statistically superior, so I have the advantages in this battle essentially. So it's gonna go to battle map, and here's the battle map. And interestingly enough, there was this huge cliff right in my way up here. I've never really seen this before. So it was kind of new to me. This huge cliff. That'd be an awesome camping spot actually, in like Napoleon Total War or something like that. But since this is Rome Total War, I can't really positioning your troops is not all as important as in Napoleon. So because of the fact that I was attacking, I can't camp essentially. So I basically just deployed my troops down here. So I'm gonna deploy basically 5 of my damaged troops out in the front line, and 3 of my stronger troops in my reserve line, my back line. Like that. So there's 1 line in front, 1 line in reserve, with this plateau behind me. Interesting. I placed all my Roman cav, my heavy cav, on my right flank, and my cavalry auxiliary on my left flank. Now I'm going to use my cavalry auxiliary to deal with that chariot archer unit that Pontus has. I'm going to send my archer auxiliary units up in between my legionary cards, and my Balearic slingers I'm going to put in loose formation out to see if I could have any good shots against those chariot archers, because long-range slingers like Rhodian slingers or Balearic slingers, they have quite a bit of advantage against the chariot archers, because they throw the bullets in such a way so that it hits the actual chariots more. So basically, the slingers do more damage than the archers, essentially, against chariots at least. So I had to reposition my cavalry auxiliary and my Balearic slingers, because it turned out that Pontus had the chariot archers on my right flank. So I was trying to rush up my dudes here because I thought that the AI was going to withdraw, and the AI does withdraw a lot of times, which is very annoying. Because whenever they have like the disadvantage, or whenever they're losing, the AI will withdraw. I really hate it when that happens. It's because you have to just fight them again and waste time. But good thing for me, the AI is not withdrawing, so I'm able to essentially engage them in this battle at least. So it looks like Pontus has like 6 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 6 or 7 units of Eastern infantry, and 1 unit of hillmen that's hidden, you can see here, and 1 unit of phalanx pikemen, and Pontic heavy cav, and chariot archer unit, you see, and there's a Eastern infantry unit at the back as a reserve, which is interesting. So my troops are just gonna walk up slowly. I don't wanna get them tired, so I'm just gonna walk them. Yeah, just positioning my dudes. I'm focusing all my legionaries on my right flank, so that I'll be able to defeat them. And I just skipped ahead a bit, and my archer auxiliary units are in range. Essentially, they're firing the missiles into the blobs of Eastern infantry you see here. I don't kill that many because the Eastern infantry, even if they have pretty sucky armor, the Eastern infantry have pretty big shields, so they don't get hit as much essentially. Because the big shields will just block the archer fire. And you can see the chariot archer unit is on my left flank now, so I'm going to have to reposition my cav yet again. I'm not going to bother repositioning my Balearic slingers because I got annoyed. I just put him in tight, set him up, do a bit of damage. I think I'm going to send my reserve corps out to refuse my flank against any flanking Pontic forces, so that because the Pontic lines are stretched out very thin, I'm gonna have to take advantage of reserves, and by refusing my flank, my left flank, I'll prevent any outflanking maneuvers. And I send my cavalry auxiliary units out on skirmish mode in order to just distract. You see, I'm refusing my left flank right now with those legionary cohorts. While I concentrate all my legionary cohorts, most of my legionary cohorts on the right flank. So basically, I'm refusing one flank and pushing with the next. And by doing so, I'm able to overwhelm one flank and just turn over and strike the middle and the left and the forces on my left flank. So here, my Roman legionaries are doing a huge massive pillar storm and just routing that Eastern infantry unit. That was very quick, because don't underestimate the use of pillar, because pillar is really tough, very strong if you can get it in, and your opponent is not ready to face it. And you can see, if you look at the bottom, you'll see that my cavalry auxiliary unit on my left flank just routed. That's kind of stupid, but they're on skirmish mode, but they're still routed. So I basically engaged the AI's Eastern infantry units with my legionary cohorts. I'm setting my troops up, going into melee range, and just totally owning them. I put my archer auxiliary onto flaming mode to cause a morale penalty, and here we go, mass rout. A lot of Eastern infantry units rout. A lot of people wetting their pants right now at this moment. A lot of Pontic troops dying essentially. You can see Pontic bodies are just scattering all over the field. Over here, I'm just going to use my general unit to block the chariot archers from reaching my archer auxilia, while my archer auxilia take pot shots at that chariot archer unit. So I'm just going to use a combined legionary corps and Roman cav force in order to run down all of these Pontic troops. So essentially, all these Pontic troops just turn tailed and run after being hit by a few flame arrows and a few pillar, and being charged by fully disciplined legionaries. And now they're all just running for their lives like little pansies, while I'm chasing them down with my badass legionaries and some of my cavalry auxilia and my Roman cav. I think, yeah, I get his general, I get the captain here too, so the captain just bites the dust, you see there. So I guess this is the end of the battle, and I continue the battle and continue chasing down these pansies essentially. And interestingly enough, all these missile units do a combined attack on these chariots and totally rips them to shreds. And you just saw there one of my general bodyguards just got flamed by one of my own men. But oh well, it doesn't matter. Poor dude, but we won anyway, so it doesn't matter. So we got a lot of kills and we lost very few men. And if you look closely at the cavalry auxiliary unit that has only 35 men left, it's going to recover 56 men and have a total of 91 men later on in the battle. Now it's very useful for this game because unlike I think Napoleon and Empire, I don't think the replenishing unit thing is in Napoleon and Empire. I'm not sure about Medieval 2, but in this game your units can replenish themselves, and it's very useful. And if you have like one of those traits like Chirurgeon, you can see there, your troops will improve casualties more. I think there are other traits like that as well, but I don't know any of them. I think there's one about Doctor or something like that. Anyway, I think I'm gonna invade Pergamum. Yeah, I think I'm planning to invade Pergamum first, and then afterwards I'll invade Pergamum, then I'll turn east. Essentially, you can see here that I'm just doing some stuff with my cities. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. Pontic army. I think I'm looking at the Pontic army.
General. Imperator.
Antioch.
Waiting your command. Orders.
Yeah, that huge Pontic army is going to be quite annoying to face. Huge Armenian army there as well. Apparently there's death stalks to land, so in Syracuse we're gonna have a plague. We're having a plague, so that's gonna be pretty bad. I mean, if one of your cities has a plague like that, then you should quarantine it immediately. Like, don't send troops in and out of the cities. No troops get in, no troops get out. She's like, you can see if I send that peasant unit up into Messina or something like that, I'm gonna actually spread the plague to Messina. I think that works for family members and spies and diplomats as well. So if you have anyone in that city, don't let them come out. Just let them rot in there and die, essentially. You could retrain them later. Anyway, there's also one thing. You could also send your spy out, do biological warfare, like send a spy in one of your plague-ridden cities and get that spy to have plague, and then send that plague-ridden spy out into other enemy cities, so that you'll be able to you actually spread the plague into that city. Like, it's like, I don't know why, it's like apparently this one plague-ridden dude automatically spreads an epidemic like in just a snap of fingers, essentially, out into another city once he gets inside it. There's a few of my family members there. Yeah, Lilybeam has an Imperial Palace, and I think there's not much for me to build actually here, except that foundry, I guess. Though even that is not really that important. Ceasefire in effect, and then there's Messina. Again, Carthage is fine. It looks like I'm just going ahead and retraining some of my legionary cohorts. I'm just looking at this guy's retinue, and yeah, I'm gonna spread some of those good trade retinue bonuses, like the Scribe and Silk Merchant. I think I'll trade the Scribe. No, yeah, I'll trade the Scribe and Silk Merchant to my other younger family member. Because Decimus Antonius is getting really old, he's gonna kick the bucket very soon. So it's going to the Roman capital. I'm gonna have to still wait another turn, essentially, before that army gets into it, so that's gonna be quite annoying. And I'm recruiting some units as well in the process. And I think I switched to a few archer units, one archer unit and one cavalry auxilia, because I would like the cavalry auxilia for the harassment purposes, because they worked pretty well in the east actually, in harassing the any of those crappy eastern infantry or something like that, which I'm hoping they'll do the same against the Romans once I get into the Roman Civil War. See here, that's gonna be yeah. And also I'm recruiting an army up in Corinth, I believe it looks like, because once the Roman Civil War gets around, I'll be able to quickly lightning in like a blitzkrieg manner take over the Greek cities essentially that the booty I have in control. Or I could just defend it, but I think it's more fun just to attack rather than just defend. I mean, if you for a campaign, you're gonna have to think more offensively instead of defensively, because you can build up, but it'll take longer essentially. So in order to win very quickly, you should keep on being offensive and just keep on attacking. And you can see here that spy had a 93% chance of getting in, yet he still died. It's that the game just hates me or something like that. I think I'm like one of the unluckiest people who ever lived. Very unlucky, I mean. 93% and the spy still flippin' dies. That's unbelievable. I'm looking at this guy, this guy's traits. I've never seen Sly before. Forgot what it does. So this guy will basically just stay in roads and do absolutely nothing. I'm just gonna build an academy for him to at least study something. I don't want him to sit there and rot out his life doing absolutely nothing. So I'm forcing him to study. So this army, I'm just circling around with my army. And then attack Pergamum. Yes, I'm gonna attack Pergamum. And then I think this is gonna be a huge, long battle. It's gonna pop up soon. Well, it'll pop up eventually. I think I just stop and make a little detour to other places in my empire. Like this, that Pontic army that just appeared is now going to aiming for Hatra. So I'm kind of frantic. So I'm gonna have to basically combine all my generals and my archer unit here, this one huge army, and go out to the east and hopefully be able to take care of that city. I mean that huge Pontic army there. At the same time, I'm building lots of cavalry auxilia units in order to bolster my numbers if any more Pontic troops appear. So I'm gonna have to do some pretty good maneuvering with those cav if I'm gonna have to win any battles against these Pontic dogs. And so in Seleucia and Susa, I'm still training a few troops. Yeah, training some auxilia, training some early legionary cohorts. Yeah, still doing all of that. It's gonna take maybe a turn or so to get everything set. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can retrain some of my troops. But apparently I can't, because the Seleucia will be pretty angry at me. See there, I think I recruit more peasants actually, and just take away that retrain unit thing. Yeah, I just want to tweak it up a bit in order to get the maximum efficiency possible.
Onward! Out of move, sir!
At your service.
Apparently up north I have up north I'm looking at a huge Armenian army there, you see there, and a pretty mediocre Parthian force. Very weak. And then the Parthia has like a city up there, that's why I'm putting at the top right. So I'm planning not to actually invade that because that'd be too annoying to invade. I'm just gonna take over all the cities here and just defend my borders essentially, while I go ahead and just take over Pontus. Just double team Pontus on two sides. Yeah, I'm just gonna send that huge army out. Apparently Kotes is still pretty angry. So I put it on growth. Growth is good for keeping your people happy. And just sending these troops out to the east. Be able to defend that area. And also to like make a threat, make a move against Armenia, because I'm probably gonna attack Parthia and Armenia at the same time in order to just wipe them out in just one snap blow. And apparently, yeah, I'm gonna go back to this now and fight the battle actually. So I'll see. I'm gonna go to battle map right now. You can see here. Quick thing, and I think I was commenting on the speech actually, because the battle speech, the guy was like, I'm known as something as a philosopher. Why are we here now? Well, to kill all those bastards, of course, because that sounds so reasonable for a philosopher. That we're here to kill all those bastards, kill all those Pontic people. So poor Pontus. I mean, they're up against a guy like that, so they're gonna be horribly mauled anyway. So apparently, the problem with this battle is the fact that I'm up against stone walls, and stone walls, it's pretty bad actually invading stone walls, because for some weird reason the Rome Total War, the game, is not really, it doesn't work well with sieges, as in the stone sieges, because your units just respond so very slowly in sieges. It's very annoying. See here, I think I'm going to position my position all my Ultra Auxilia on with my cav, while I position most of my infantry facing the front gate. So checking my troops over here. See that? I want to be able to probably fire down some volleys against any enemy troops that might be approaching. So I want to eventually go in with like a bum rush the square essentially, and take out all the enemies in my way. Let's start the battle. So apparently there's a side chariot unit right over there. So immediately I'm gonna probably set fire to it with my archers, and I'm gonna send my general unit up in loose formation in very thin lines in order to absorb any the tower's missiles, so the tower's missiles won't hit my troops. Apparently over here I also have mercenary hoplite unit and a phalanx pikeman unit, see here, which is going to be quite annoying. I'm not going to bother attacking at this gate because the phalanx pikeman unit can just merely do phalanx formation, and I can't get through that tiny little gap, because phalanxes are pretty good in cities. They're pretty overpowered in my opinion, in cities at least. Though on the open field, the Roman factions have an advantage over any of the phalanx factions, except maybe Seleucia and Pontus. Anyway, I'm just looking at the side chariots, the stats, because I thought they were like had 9, because I thought they had like gold chevron, but I was wrong. They didn't. Except these side chariots just standing here getting flamed, and for some reason they're not at all getting running amok right now at this point. That's quite annoying. And then you can see on the walls, I believe there's another phalanx pikeman unit and a Thracian mercenary unit. That should be quite easy actually, because Thracian mercenaries and phalanx pikemen really have no chance against legionary cohorts up against the walls. And you can See, I'm also somewhat firing on the phalanx pikeman. Now at this point I get my general and make him retreat because he's being hit by more fire than I would like. I don't want him to lose too many casualties, so I pull him back. Not much to comment on exactly, except I'm just firing at that stupid side chariot unit, and it ran amok, so that's good. However, while I was playing this, I didn't realize that amok chariots will actually run out of the gate at you in siege battle, so I had somewhat of a scare because that side chariot was actually coming out, and it looks like it's coming towards me, so I'm just gonna have to retreat my archers and make them run for their lives essentially. And I'm pushing my legionnaire cards up so that I will defend my archers. See a lot of flaming missiles on these phalanx pikeman unit, but I still did absolutely no damage. That's really annoying actually, because when units are on the walls, they have an increased defense essentially against missiles, so you won't get as many kills as you would like. So that side chariot unit, I think I told my archers to attack that side chariot unit with regular missiles, just fire volleys at them like that. It's very useful to do that because chariots, as with side chariots as with all chariots, are very vulnerable to missiles, because the missiles basically make decrease the health of the chariots, and after the health of the chariots go down to like 1, it's very easy to pick them off because chariots have very low defense. So now I'm gonna focus fire on those phalanx pikemen, and still phalanx pikemen and mercenary hoplites there are just standing there. I don't want to engage them because I don't want to lose too many casualties, because at this point in this map, I mean on the campaign map, there's no close place for me to retrain my legionnaire cards, so I want to conserve as many as possible. So I think at this point well, almost at this point, later on in the future, I decide to basically grab all of my cav units and tell them to run through the gate actually. Run through the gate and just push my way inside, force my way inside, because there's nothing really blocking me actually. So I'm able to do this. So I'm gonna tell all my cav units to just run, like now, so that they'll run through the gate, pour in, and hopefully entice the enemy to come down. So hopefully I can get my legionnaire cards down there in order to attack, in order to engage those phalanx pikemen units on the walls. See, I'm doing very minimal damage against these pikemen. At the same time, you see the cavalry auxiliary just throwing pot shot javelins into the backs of these phalanx pikemen. See there? But still, I'm not killing many. It's kind of bad, annoying. See, I'm losing quite a few horses, but that's fine actually. That's fine. Oh, look at those people, they're falling from the walls. Poor dudes. It's like, this is what a phalanx pikeman would see. Like all these arrows just coming in, flying at them. That poor dude. Look at those dudes, they're just falling. Oh, look at that dude. Oh man, poor him. Oh, look at that. That guy just fell through the wall. Yeah. Though, what's interesting about Pontus is the fact that their phalanx pikeman has an increased shield defense, yet they have only 160 men instead of 240 men. Like for Macedon and Thrace and the Seleucids, their phalanx pikemen has 240 men. Yet for Pontus, their phalanx pikemen units are cheaper. Yet they have less men and they have more shield defense, which is interesting. Now you can see that the phalanx pikemen troops are retreating essentially from the wall, so I'm gonna have to throw in my my legionnaire carts on the front gate in soon. You see here that these enemy troops are getting off the wall apparently. I don't know why. I think it's safer for them to be on the wall instead of just on the ground. So I'm gonna tell my one of my legionnaire carts to attack and the other of my legionnaire carts to run up the walls. But as you can see here, that the siege battles for Rome are not working very well, and you see that my troops on the ground, I'm telling them to get on the wall, but they're not getting on the wall. They're just sitting there doing absolutely nothing, just getting themselves killed. That's why I hate siege battles in Rome. It's really annoying. You just can't get it right. They just won't get up. It'll take them forever to get up onto the flippin' walls. Apparently I'm winning the sword fight against these pikemen and these Thracian mercenaries. That's to be expected, because heavy infantry will always beat light infantry and phalanx troops in a sword fight like this. Looks like I captured the enemy walls, and that's very good for me. Finally, the towers will not fire on my men, which is a good sigh of relief, because I won't be losing men getting in. Now at this point in the battle, I tell my Roman troops to just bum rush the walls at this point, because apparently the Pontic armies are abandoning the walls for some weird reason. Fine by me. It's it's none of my. I don't care what the AI does, as long as the AI helps me. They could go on ahead and do whatever stupid thing. I don't care. And see here that my Roman legionaries are going to hand-to-hand combat with these pikemen, these Thracian mercenaries. Obviously my guys had the advantage here, and you can see a little bit of close-up. Though it's a bit laggy, but it's alright. So it's kind of funny how those phalanx pikemen have these tiny shields and these tiny swords against my legionaries who have this awesome cool looking armor and this gladius and this huge shield. So these phalanx pikemen are not gonna last too long. Anyway, this is getting quite boring, so sorry that the battle is lasting this long. Siege battles last forever like this. So I think I'm gonna skip ahead into when I get to something more interesting. Okay, now see here, this mercenary hoplite is just walking away from our troops without care. I'm pursuing it with my legionnaire cards. Now you can see this is the Pontic general. It's an Eastern general, but unlike the other armored Eastern generals, the Pontic one does not have any maces. So the Pontic generals are easier to face than the Eastern generals.